you're at a grocery store that doesn't have a bunch of dried chilies, do you have like an alternative? Like maybe just like some jalapenos.
You could get some jalapenos and roast them up, which would add some interesting flavor, I'm sure.
You could roast it just right over the flame.
Yeah, right over the flame on your stove, and then like put it in a paper bag, or I always like just run them under cold water and like pull off all the black stuff, and then you sort of zip those up in your blender. That would work. The grocery store my mom shops at, which is pretty much the most white bread New England grocery store you could ever imagine, has those smoked chipotle chilies in
right, like in the adobo.
Yeah, which you could definitely use those. And you can also spice it up at the end using cayenne pepper to your particular taste, or Tabasco sauce, whatever your like chili hot sauce magic of your personal choices.
Perfect.
The other way you could do it veggie would just be to like brown the onions and the garlic in some oil, and then add texturized vegetable protein, which you can get in the bulk department of most like hippie style grocery stores.
Grocery stores, yeah.
Which I actually totally love that stuff. I think it's like vegetarian
what is it?
magic. It's called texturized vegetable protein, and it looks almost like really big flakes of panko breadcrumbs, or like what else could you? It looks sort of like fish food, also. Honestly, it's like flaky and kind of yellow, and you pour. I would pour like a cup into this chili. Oh, that's smoking.
Yeah.
I would pour like a cup into this chili recipe, and it just it's like dehydrated soy, and so it will like sort of puff up with the juices of whatever you're cooking, and it has this like vaguely meaty texture, and it doesn't have any of the like weird textural issues that like some tofus and like seitan have, but and it also doesn't really taste like anything. It just kind of like adds like a nice texture.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of veggie watchers, so that's good information for all of you out there who are always asking us for vegetarian recipes. That would make this vegan too, wouldn't it?
It would make it vegan. Yeah, this is a really easy recipe to make vegetarian or vegan, or to make a little bit lighter if you wanted to use ground turkey.
Right.
Which I find ground turkey kind of creepy in general, but like you can get good ground turkey.
I like it, but nothing is like a substitute for like good ground beef, like chili con carne, which is what in Texas we like to eat. I always think that the number one thing people like don't do that messes up recipes at cooking at home is not adding salt.
Yeah, you really like.
You really
restaurant
do.
Food has so much salt in it, you'd be kind of amazed.
That's why it tastes so good.
That's why it tastes so good,
frankly.
So,
but there are worse things you could add. You know?
Yeah.
Add the salt. Make it taste good.
At the same time, it's like I would rather add salt at the table than have it be too salty.
True.
So
add, but taste as you go.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you add in the tomatoes, you'll want to, like, there will be some bits that sort of stick to the bottom. And that sort of like browning of protein is like the foundation of making flavor in cooking. And so like when you
you like deglaze something, you're picking up those pieces at the bottom, because that's like the really flavorful little bit.
Exactly. And so it'll probably deglaze itself with its own fat as it renders out, but even if there's a little bit left when you dump in that can of tomatoes that we're going to get to shortly, if you make sure to scrape everything up, that'll like take care of anything you have left. I like the way the black beans look in the sort of red chili, and I really like the texture of garbanzo beans. Like I find them really delicious.
And I really like the meatiness of the kidney beans.
Yeah. One trick that my husband does when he makes chili is to put in cornmeal at this point, which will thicken it up and like, you know, make it go a little further. That's not really my favorite trick, but you can do that.
But that is a trick.
Isn't Ohio all about putting the pasta in the chili? Is that like?
I never had chili in
Ohio. I think
the
Midwest does that too,
if
which you could do at this point.
Shoot us an email and let us know. We'll post it on our site.